The song I'm going to play today is The Cat Came Back. And this is a super silly sing-along song that's easy to play, super fun, and there's about a zillion verses. It's a real easy song. The chord progression goes from E minor to D to C to B7, which is really the only tricky chord there. But it's like this. And that meow really is one of the most important words in the whole song. Now you can find all of the lyrics online. There's a ton of different there's a ton of different verses for that song. But there's lots of really fun and really goofy ones. And so let's go ahead and talk about the chord shapes themselves. The first chord is the E minor, which is just these two strings right here. And you're just going to play the whole 6 strings on the E minor. The next chord is the D, which is one of my favorite chords. I play a lot of Ds. And for the D chord, you only want to play the bottom 4 strings. Then the C. And for the C, you don't want to play this top E string. You want to let that one be muted. And then the trickiest chord, the B7. And I'll stick the chord shapes up on here for you too. So let's see a close-up of just those chord shapes. And for this B7, what I'm doing is I'm putting my pointer finger right here on the first fret of the D string. I'm putting my middle finger right here on the second fret of the A string. And then my ring finger is going to skip a string and be on the second fret of the B string, the G string, and my pinky finger is on the second fret down here on the high E string. Then you don't play the low E. So let's do that again. The E chord, which you can play with your pointer finger and your second finger if you want. That's your pointer finger and your middle finger. It's totally fine to play it like this. You take your pointer finger, put it on the second fret of that A string. You take your middle finger, put it on the second fret of the D string. Then you strum the all 6 strings. So again, that's the second finger on the second fret of the A string and the middle finger on the second fret of the D string. Then the D chord, you're going to take your pointer finger, put it on the second fret of the G string. You're going to take your middle finger, put it on the second fret of the high E string. You're going to take your ring finger and put it right between them, but one fret down. So that's the pointer finger right here, the middle finger down here on the second fret of the high E string, and your ring finger on the third fret of the B string. And then remember, just play the high four strings. Okay, the C chord, you take your pointer finger and put it here on the first fret of the B string. Your ring finger, you're going to put on the second fret of the D string right here, and your middle finger on the second fret of the D string, your ring finger down here on the third fret of the A string. Now, you don't want to play this low E. This low E string should be quiet. So just play those high five strings. And then back to the B7. Your first finger up here on the first fret. It's your pointer finger on the first fret of the D string. Then these next three fingers start here on the second fret of the A string, then you skip a string and go to the second fret, skip a string, go to the second fret. So it looks like that. And then you only play the top five strings. Now once you've got your chords figured out and you can play them cleanly, just play them slowly. Old Mr. Johnson had troubles of his own. He had a yellow cat that wouldn't leave his home. He tried and he tried to give the cat away. He gave it to a man going far, far away. But the cat came back the very next day. The cat came back. They thought he was a goner, but the cat came back. He just wouldn't stay away. Meow. Now remember, the most important thing during a sing-along is just to have fun. People don't really care how good you are at your guitar playing, how good you are at singing. If you're having fun, they're going to have fun with you. So go look up the words, start playing those chords. It's a super goofy, super fun song, and people just love it. See you next time.